Hey there. So today we have another review. This is a really exciting one. This is Stone Delicious IPA, double IPA. So this is a brand new product. This was literally released about a month ago. This was canned about 5 weeks ago. So released about 4 weeks ago. Canned, obviously, a week before release. So super, super fresh. I mean, like, I think they just got it. They're doing a cool thing where they're doing Stone Delicious. If you don't know Stone Delicious IPA, it's one of their IPAs that is relatively new in Stone, though because this is probably at least 5 years, over 5 years ago. The cool thing about that product is they use an enzyme that makes it pretty much not well, obviously not gluten free, but pretty much gluten reduced to almost gluten free. So unless you have an insane like take on like celiac or like really, really intense issues with gluten. For people who have any gluten sensitivity, ideally it should be okay for you, which is pretty great that they're a large brewery using this enzyme. And so they released a 6 pack with the double IPA, the citrus IPA, and then regular old Stone Delicious IPA. I'm reviewing this one. This one is El Dorado. So it's a new beer actually. So it's like a double version of Delicious. 9.4%. It is El Dorado, Centennial, and Amarillo. And there's some wacky, wacky, crazy, cool tasting notes on the website, but I'm gonna skip those and just dig into it myself. I really wish the label popped a little bit more. I don't know if you guys see this, but like it's hard to read delicious on there, right? Like the color, the silver doesn't really pop against the green, but it's really cool. They have a nice kind of gold top on here, which is pretty fun, right? You see the gold top right there. But again, like from a distance, you all you see is green and deal it like I don't know. Some design random things I try to mention, but I'm really excited to try this beer out. The beer is crystal clear, so they got it really nice cleared up. I think actually this enzyme is supposed to be meant for clearing up beer. Like it actually supposed to like make it clearer, but at the same time it helps drop out um, gluten products. So like yeah, again, they do a laboratory report, so you can actually find out how much gluten's on the beer. They used to do it. I don't know if it's still available, but like every single batch, they'll like do a report and post on a website. Here's a report. Here's how low ppm gluten you have. Which blah blah. We talk about like gluten sensitivity, inflation, blah blah. So still going to enjoy the beer. So really nice clear beer. Comes in a nice kind of like medium to deep gold color. Slightly off white head. Doesn't smell great. That's crazy. That is insane. This beer is literally the enjoy by is literally 3 months away. They put a 4 month enjoy by, 4 month enjoy by on this, right? 12, 1, 2, 4. Yeah, 4 months enjoy by. This is 1 month in. It should be screaming out of the glass, and I smell a little bit of oxidation. I found on the warm shelf, but like it has a little bit of stinkiness to it. It doesn't pop on the nose at all. I smell almost nothing. That's crazy. I'm looking. That sucks. It's sweet. It's candied. Smells a little tired. It's crazy because like Florida really hasn't gotten that hot. We've gotten highs in like 80s, 70s, but like for a 5 month old beer, this really tastes so bad. That's actually insane. I might as well send them an email or something. I was really excited for this one. It's definitely boozy. It's a little bit hoppy, restrained on bitterness. Um, has a little bit of this like light biscuit malt note, and then there's this lingering kind of like I call it like sometimes cardboardy, but for me it's like almost tea-like. It's like tannins. I think that's what the cardboard and like so oxidation come off many different ways. Sometimes it's cardboardy, sometimes like licking. Um, but at least the citronal flavor is like a licking, plasticky envelope glue. Here it's like almost like green tea. There's a tannic. Nigel, sorry, my cat's like trying to attack. I don't know what he's doing, but anyway, thankfully I didn't move the camera too much. It's almost like a green tea tannic kind of note, and then also flavor comes off green tea-ish or tea-like. It's wow, it's absolutely insane. As you wait more, I get a little bit more expressive character. Um, they mentioned a little kind of this cherry note, which is quite interesting. Quite nice in that, but it's very bland of a beer. It's boozy, blandish. It's almost as if like you got hop slam and they just made it less hoppy. Like it's pretty drinkable, but the booze is there, and there's no really big expression of hoppiness. Like a little bit of grapefruit, some pine. Honestly, it might not be oxidation. I just think this beer sucks. Like like how badly can this beer have been treated for 5 weeks? Like there's no temperatures that could have hit. I think. How bad is the supply chain? Especially where's this brewed? Try to find out. This is brewed. It has to be brewed at Richmond, VA, right? There's no reason they would send Escondido beer all the way out here. Man, it's a bland beer. It sucks. They did make a really nice drinkable dry 9% hoppy beer, but it's not tasty. Like it has really like nice elements to it. Like it's crisp. Uh, the booze sort of hits, but like it's fighting with beer, right? But like this beer is like fighting at 9% to like really expose itself out, expose this alcohol, but doesn't really quite do it. The malt sits in a really nice place. The bitterness is quite restrained. This is a newer recipe, definitely updated recipe where they're pulling the BUs back on this beer. My first impression was just like the oxidation. We blame oxidation. It's just a bland IPA, double IPA. There's nothing expressive and aromatic about it. It tastes fine on the front palate. My initial impression was just wrong. It's just, I don't know, man. But that could be oxidation. Temperature, the degradation of the hop aromatics and flavor. Um, I don't know how you get this guy much fresher. I don't know what to tell you. Nigel, get off the table, please. Get off the table. Mom doesn't like you on the table. Thank you, Nigel. Thank you. Good boy. Um, what a shame. I was really excited for this guy. Honestly, I don't think I'm gonna finish this. So we're going to stick with a. There's elements that are very tasty about this beer, and like if they really, I mean, again, ripping roaring fresh, it has to be better. There's no way they produce it's like Stone of all breweries produce a beer that tastes this bad. It just has a lot of the great elements to it. It just has a lot of great elements, but on the peak, it sits like it's sitting right there on your peak, right? It goes like this, because on the back edge of the peak, like way back edge of the peak. So I would have guessed this beer was again, if they were enjoyed by 4 months, I would have guessed this beer was like so. Let's say April. We're in January right now. This was canned in December. We're in January. I would assume this was Best Buy's April. I would have guessed we're in March right now. We're easily 2 months away in how this beer should be peaking and dropping. I would have guessed actually like we're in May actually. I would have this. If the enjoy buy is sorry April, I would guess it was April. Like this is as far as I want to push a beer, and we're not even close. Like this is pretty much that's correct. This tastes like I'm right at the enjoy by. Don't drink it any later than this. Bland, doesn't have the hop notes, but it's still very tasty. And there's other elements. There we go. 80, 84. Solid B. You know, Obviously, a great example of this beer is easily an 8 A plus my range. That's fine. Cheers. 84. Later.